You've got to play smart. Scottie Pippen pulled that out before he attacked.
Shea leans in and kisses it home off the window. Here's Chet Holmgren, missed about half the season due to injury after playing at all 82 a year ago. Great pass, Hartenstein. He's an excellent passer, finds the cutting Jalen Williams. Fifth in the league in steals. Working on Morant, who again draws a switch. Nice play. Shea got the block on Edey.
It's a great delivery by John Morant. You see Edey with the switch, seals Shea, but able to still stay with the play and get a piece of that basketball from behind.
See how much time they put on the clock here. Yep, 0.7. So still enough time for a catch and shoot here for Memphis if they win the tap. And you would expect they would, but Shea's a pretty good leaper, but giving up about 8 inches to Edey. Bane grabs it, got caught in the air. Well defended by Jalen Williams to force that pass instead of a shot from Bane.
That's a perfect sign of the awareness that OKC.
That hit Edey in the face. Not sure if Bane was trying to throw that to Pippen.
Trying to get that cross court to Pippen, and Edey unfortunately caught that one right off the right side of his head.
Hartenstein with a floater. He's got that float game down pat. And Oklahoma City with its first lead. Best defensive team in the league this year in Oklahoma City. And right on cue with a deflection by Hartenstein. Jackson was open in the corner, missed the three. Edey, what a block by Holmgren. Turns away Edey at the rim. And now Holmgren going coast to coast. Missed the shot. Bodies hit the floor. Out to Shea. No good on the triple try. Rebound.
Many opportunities when they played the regular season.
Air ball by Williams, but Dort got the offensive rebound. Now Dort buries a three. Career year for Lou Dort in three-point shooting. We know how good he is as a defender. Been made 173, shooting better than 41% from out there. Morant doubled. Dort hits the deck. Morant, tough shot. Well defended. Dort. Williams in the open floor. Goes through the lane. Puts it up and in.
Well, you end up with the #1 defense in the league because of great pursuit. And you see it right here on the part of Lou Dort. John Morant thought he was going to be able to get that mid-range off. Instead, the deflection and then this. Changing ends of the floor. OKC thrives on it. Off of a turnover, certainly in the first quarter. They'll sprinkle in some possessions, but that's very early to hit them with that look.
And my apologies to Mark. Ashley Kerr is her name, not Ashley Kent. Hartenstein there with the stick back. Avs and the Thunder going with double bigs. Is that the future?
Well, listen, a lot more teams are doing it, but you better make sure if you're going to do it, as Hartenstein hits him with another floater. If you're
Golden State.
Yeah, this is a shot I think more and more bigs need.
His last game against the Thunder in the regular season, he went 1 for 12. So already better than that tonight with 2 of 3. Holmgren for 3. First basket of the game for Chet Holmgren. And now the Thunder on the run. Here's Joe for 3. Got it! Isaiah Joe, 192 threes during the regular season.
Be there today. They're going to have to shoot a decent percentage.
Great answer. Jalen Williams from deep.
This is the depth of their three-point shooting. They've got a bench load to handle the low post, particularly when he goes to that left-hand jump hook.
Jalen Williams from mid-range. This is game 1. Game 2 will be on Tuesday night. The scoop won't fall from Bane. Tracked down by Wiggins. Out to Wallace. Wallace attacking and slamming. Oh, Cason Wallace in transition with the stop.
I don't know if anybody in this building was expecting this. Least of all, Scottie Pippen Jr. Cason Wallace showing you an extra level of burst, explosiveness, and playing through.
Pippen for 3. No good. Memphis 2 of 11 from deep. Second chance opportunity. Turnover by Bane. Williams challenged. Gets the layup against Pippen. Memphis shooting 33%. Oklahoma City 54%. Wiggins wide open. Buries a 3. The Thunder doubling up the Grizzlies early in the second. It's brought to you by Coors Light.
Ball movement, shooting, and defense. OKC making the extra pass.
Williams penetrates. Wiggins, same spot, same result. A flurry of threes from the Thunder to go up 25.
First kick out comes to the corner, make one more. Aaron Wiggins steps into back-to-back and a breakout year for Wiggins. And he has owned Memphis this year, 19 points a game in their 4 matchups. And right now, the Thunder just pouring it on.
Thunder up. The lead is 27. Pippen lost his footing, no foul. Another transition opportunity. Showtime, Williams. As the number 2 offense in the league during the season. Morant misses. Rebound, Edey. Morant 2 of 7. Driving, lost the ball, but out of bounds. Last touch by the Thunder. Pull up 3, Williams. And that one's too strong, but Hartenstein another rebound. Williams, great dish. Hartenstein with the score right at the rim. Memphis 2 of 14 as a team. It's a 31-point lead. Hartenstein and Williams, just beautiful basketball right now. Playing catch in the backyard. Shown here in the first half, while Oklahoma City might take a while to get going, but that has not been the case. Hartenstein, there's the teardrop again. He can't miss with that. Bane's pass knocked away and stolen by Jalen Williams. 7th in the league in steals. Wiggins, the lob. Oh my goodness! Jalen Williams with the one-hand throwdown off the alley-oop.
As if this crowd needed something more to get energized by OKC. And they're getting numbers, and that is everybody out in the open floor. Perfectly delivered alley-oop for Jalen Williams. Emphatically sends a message early in this series. Not a certain type of physical profile works against him, a scheme. He's got everything in his package offensively.
Final seconds here of the half. They took a point away of that 3 from Jalen Williams. Gilgeous-Alexander finally ends the run of 8 straight misses.
Well, guys, Chet Holmgren says you don't necessarily feel comfortable in the playoffs, but having been through it for the first time a year ago, playing in 10 playoff games, Holmgren says there's a sense of knowing what to expect that settles you down right on cue. I gotta tell you.
The stars for Memphis, Jaren Jackson, 1 rebound and 2 points. Ja Morant had 11 points, but he was 4 of 11 from the floor. And now the Thunder push their lead to a game-high 37.
In the second half of this game.
Dort, not there on the 3, but an offensive rebound for Hartenstein, who has 14 points, one of 3 Thunder players with 14. Dort, rainbow 3, swishes through. Edey blocked. Excellent team defense again by the Thunder. Here's Shea putting it on the floor. The floater from SGA drops through. In double figures now with 11. 10-0 here in the third quarter and trail by 42.
Going to ask if you're sure about that.
And a turnover out of the timeout. Shea Gilgeous-Alexander mauled by Pippen. This is the 1-8 matchup in the West. Boston-Orlando is the 2-7. Dort left alone in front of the Thunder bench, and he drills another 3.
Well for Memphis, and he played well the other night on Friday against Dallas, and he hasn't really been with the team very long, hasn't played much. He's 4 for 4 from the field, as again Memphis gives up an easy basket on a back cut. Everything that Mark Daigneault says about him reflects how important he has been to this team.
Turnover.
He'll come off the bench. He'll do whatever it takes for this team to win. And Daigneault says Alex Caruso is the same way. You think those two have been with this club for 3 years, and that's a compliment to both of those guys.
Now, a name that when he got the job, not a lot of people knew. He was with Jim Calhoun as a manager at Connecticut from 2003 to 2007, and then gave him the job at age 35. And he was coach of the year last year, runner-up 2 years ago. Dort, another 3.
Well, it got to the point I thought Lou Dort may be paying rent to occupy the left wing because he's taken 4 uncontested looks early in the third quarter as Jalen Williams again able to explode at the rim.
47-point game midway through the third quarter of game 1. Bane underneath to Aldama. And good defense again by Holmgren, who's been outstanding defensively at the rim. And now Joe controls it. Holmgren will let it fly. That's good. 13th three-pointer for Oklahoma City in the third. Agnald is thinking about this as all of a sudden get too loose and develop some bad habits at the end of game one, knowing you got to turn around and play game two in 2 days. By Shai Gilgeous-Alexander. Presti took over as the Thunder GM in 2007. He's only 47 years old. He's one of the best execs in pro sports. One of a playoff series is 47. Done twice, last in 1995. The Orlando Magic against Boston also happened in 86. Lakers, Spurs, in transition, Wiggins. And it's back to a 51-point lead. I repeat, 51. Jalen Williams. Oklahoma City with 14 threes.
Yeah, he'll get votes, probably some MVP votes. Certainly think is headed for a first-team All-NBA selection.
Three-pointer for Isaiah Joe. Their average margin of victory during the regular season was 12.9. That is the best in NBA history. They were 44-29, and they were the 5 seed at that point. They finish as the 8 seed. Again, just 2 behind the Lakers for the 3. As Mitchell swishes home a three-pointer. Williams with the steal, knocking it away from Huff. He'll get the layup in transition.
Had a late season slide that forced them into the play-in, which they were able to escape. And then you come out the other night to Memphis, which they almost did. One possession game with 6 seconds to go. Then they would have had to win on Friday night, and they'd be sitting here right now playing against this Oklahoma City level. Well, it's definitely a progression in terms of experience. There's no other way to learn it other than going through it. The level of intensity, the shot-making pressure, even the way the game is called with that young core group. And they couldn't have done more for 40 minutes to position themselves to win a playoff game. But you saw the experience factor.
Largest margin of victory ever in a game one of the playoffs is 47. And so that is in jeopardy.
Yeah, the answers for the Lakers are going to come on the defensive end of the floor. That's where the adjustment has to come. Minnesota was in rhythm all night.
Wiggins for 3. 2:25 to go in game one. Game two, Tuesday night. Nice pass by Williams. And the basket from Wiggins. Victory in a game one in NBA history. It was 47 twice in 1986 and 1995. It's 51 as we close out game one. Chance of OKC raining down from a very happy fan base here in Oklahoma City. Impressive game one performance on both ends of the floor in every aspect for the Oklahoma City Thunder. 131-80 they beat Memphis. Largest playoff win in franchise history, largest game one win in NBA playoff history.